You are all warmly welcome to Avatar Studio. So today we are going to learn about leaf. So what is the structure of the leaf? What are the types of the leaf? So how it is divided? Everything we are going to see today. So we will go to the class. So the leaves are green, thin, flattened, and that is a lateral outgrowth of the stem. So that is exogenous in origin, that is involved in photosynthesis. So that is considered as a photosynthetic organ, or that is otherwise called kitchen. That is the kitchen of the plant. So here the transpiration, photosynthesis, and gaseous exchange. So the three takes place in the leaf. So what is photosynthesis? You know very well. The preparations of the food material with the help of some inorganic raw materials. And what is the transpiration? That is exchange of the gases. Okay, so between that carbon dioxide and oxygen will be exchanged. So during the photosynthesis and respirations. And during transpirations, the water is evaporated and even gases also evaporated. So through the stomata. The stomata is involved in the transpiration and gaseous exchange. And another one that is considered as a phloem. Okay. So all the leaves are together to consider as a phloem. Example, in a plant, so how many leaves are there? All the leaves are together to consider as a phloem. So what are the characteristics of leaf? So leaves are the lateral appendages of the stem, that is exogenous in origin, because that is originated from the dermal regions. So actually all the leaves are arised at the nodal regions. So where is the node? Where the leaf is attached to the stem, the particular region is called node. Actually the petiole is attached to the stem. Okay, the particular region is considered as a node. Okay, so we can see the limited growth. So actually the leaves are arised in either side of the branches. Okay, either side of the branches, the leaves are arised. It may be a compound leaf or it may be a single leaf. So it does not possess a apical bud. Okay, so apical bud, that's a terminal bud. We cannot see any terminal bud in the leaf structure. Actually the leaf is divided into three. One is the leaf base, petiole and lamina. Okay, so we will see one by one. So what is the petiole? Where is the leaf base? Where is the petiole and lamina? So lamina of the leaf is transversed by the vascular strands. Actually where is the veins? The veins are present in the lamina portions. Okay, so lamina is here a thin flattened regions. Here the veins are there. Okay, so in the vein the vascular tissue is there. What is the vascular tissue? The xylem and phloem is located in the particular region. So what are the primary functions of the leaf? So the primary functions already I explained. So photosynthesis, transpiration and gaseous exchange. So actually the leaf is protect the buds during the, so that is in the young conditions. So which is used to conduct the water and dissolved, that is a solutes. Okay, because it has a xylem and phloem in the vein, that is a vascular tissues are there. With the help of that vascular tissue they have to conduct the water and dissolved solutes. So what are the secondary functions? The primary functions we studied, that's a photosynthesis, transpirations and gaseous exchange. So what about in the secondary functions? So secondary functions that is involved in, so store some food materials or they have to modify to do some other characters. Okay, so secondary functions is a storage. Actually I gave an aloe is example for that. So in the leaves are very succulent, they have to store the food material. Okay, which is modified to store the food material, that is not only involved in transpirations, gaseous exchange and photosynthesis. Okay, so apart from that they have to store the food materials. So how can they store the food material inside? Okay, because the leaves are covered by the thick cuticle. Okay, with the help of the cuticle they can store the food material. So next, which is involved in protections. Okay, so how they protect from the animals. So example for in Opuntia and Argemone mexicana, it has here that is thorns are there. Okay, even here the leaves are look like a thorns. Here the leaves are modified into thorns. In Opuntia the leaves are modified into thorns. Okay, so because of that they have to protect from the animals. Okay, and not only protect from the animals, that is escape from the transpiration also. Similarly Argemone mexicana. So how the plants give support to the plant body, how the leaf gives support to the plant body. So here gloriosa, that is another one is here, Nepenthes is there, okay. So the leaves are, that is a that is a wavy in nature. So that is here, gives support to the plant body because they have to hook and they will climb in some other materials, okay. So here the Nepenthes, already I explained, the Nepenthes are, so totally that is a leaf is modified into, that is here some other structure, okay. They have a deficiency in the proteins. So they want to, take the more proteins, but they cannot prepare by themselves, so which is depending upon the some other organism. So because of that they can some modifications, okay. So what are the modification we can see here? So this is the lamina is modified into pitcher. Actually that the petioles are modified, this is a petiole is modified into, that is a tendril like structure, okay. So it has here a rim, that is a mouth is very beautiful, it attract the insects. So when the insects will come and sit in the rim, so it will be enter into the pitcher, okay. So it has a lid, that is a lid is a leaf apex are modified into lid like structure, okay. So when that insects are sit on the rim, so immediately they have to close the lid. So what will happen? So inside the pitcher it contains some fluid is there, okay. So with the help of the fluid, so that is they cannot come in outside, okay. So that is used to kill the insects, and they have some proteins, okay. Protease enzyme is there, because the presence of the protease enzyme it will be digest. So with the help of that they can be absorb the proteins from the insects, okay. So that is the nature, that is the modifications in the Nepenthes. So what are the modification we can see here? So one is the petiole is modified into tendril and the lamina is modified into the pitcher. Actually that lid is modified into, that is a apex is modified into lid. So next we will see the reproductions, how the leaves are involved in the reproductions. Actually in the begonia, bryophyllum, Zamioculcas, so these are all the plants that is involved in the vegetative propagations. Just you have to take a small bud from the leaf, it will be gives rise to your next generation, okay, because it has a small roots are there. The roots are arise from the base of the bud, okay. So it will be fix a plant, it will be fix a daughter plant into the soil. So from that a new generations will be arised. So parts of the leaf, okay. So how many parts? What are the main parts are there? First one is a leaf base, another one is a petiole, and next one is the lamina. So this is your leaf base. This area is considered as your leaf base. This is your leaf base, okay. So where the node is attached on the stem, so that region, the base of the node is considered as your leaf base, okay. So petiole is the, that is your small filament like structure, okay, which is attached to the lamina to the stem or branches. So with the help of the small filament, that is considered as your petiole, okay. And next that is a spread, that is a thin and flattened area. So there is a thin green in color and flattened structure is considered as a lamina. So lamina is otherwise called, that is a leaf blade, that is otherwise called leaf blade. So in the lamina we can see the prominent midrib. So from the midrib the lateral veins are arised. So from the lateral veins a small primary veinlets are started. From the primary veinlets, that's a secondary veinlet, tertiary veinlets are, so they are arised from that, okay. So all the veins are arised from the midrib. It's look like a net like formation. So this is considered as a reticulate venations. Reticulate venation is the characteristic of dicot plants. And other region, this is the apex, okay. That is apex region, that's actually we studied in the pitcher plant. So the apex is modified into lid, okay. So that is the end portions of the lamina is your apex, and this is a margin. The margin is different margin. Each and every leaf has a different, that is a vary in the margin, structure of the margins are vary. And this is the veinlets, okay. So in the veinlets we can see the, so this is the veinlet. So here we can see that is a vascular bundles. Vascular bundle. So what is in the vascular bundle? xylem and phloem is there. With the help of the vascular bundle, they can conduct the water and minerals, and actually the leaves are receive the water and minerals from the root, and they have to conduct the food material through the phloem. So, there is a vascular tissue is present in the veins. That is an important one mark question. So, the parts of the leaves are divided into three. So, one is a leaf base, another one is a petiole, and third one is a lamina. So, leaf base is otherwise called as a hypopodium, petiole is otherwise called as a mesopodium, lamina is otherwise called epipodium. So, leaf base, where is the leaf base? So, leaf base in the tip of the node, where the node actually that nodal region, base of the nodal region is called leaf base. Okay. So, the part of the leaf attached to the node of the stem is considered as a leaf base. Leaf base is otherwise called, that is a hypopodium. So, in some of the plants, the leaf base are somewhat bulged in conditions. Okay. Example for in the dicot plants, that is a Fabaceae, belongs to the species Fabaceae. The basal region, that is a leaf basal region, is a bulged. So, that is considered as a pulvinous leaf base. Okay. The legume leaf base becomes a broad and swollen. Okay. The basal regions are is a broad and swollen in condition, that is considered as a pulvinous. That example in the Clitoria, Lablab and Cassia putea. Okay. That these are all belongs to the Fabaceae family. Okay. Fabaceae na pulses irukkudiya family. Okay. So, here we can see the pulvinous leaf. What is the pulvinous? So, pulvinous means that is your leaf base is somewhat swollen. Okay. It is a broad and swollen in condition. In monocot plants, the leaf base are sheath-like structure. Okay, that is a sheathing leaf base. In many monocot families such as Ericaceae, Musaceae, Syngiperaceae, Poaceae, that is belongs to grasses, the monocot families. The leaf base just extend that is from nodal region to, from base of the node to petiole, that is a sheath-like structures. Okay, okay, the sheath and clasps part of the whole of the internode. In the internode regions full just madakra mari irukum. Okay. So, that is called by sheathing leaf base. So, where is the sheathing leaf base? Sheathing leaf base in the monocotyledonous. Okay. So, that is a leaf base of monocot, leaf base of dicot. Leaf base of dicot is called pulvinous, leaf base of monocot is called sheathing leaf base. Sheathing leaf base consists of some scars are there. Okay. So, when such a leaf base also leave permanent. Okay. So, மரத்திலிருந்து அந்த leaf வந்து கீழே விழுந்துருச்சு அப்படினா, so also leave permanent scars are there. So, on the stem. So, when that is fallen, okay, after the fallen, we can see a small scar, that is considered as a sheathy leaf base scars. Okay. So, such a leaf base also leave the permanent scars on the stem. So, that scars we cannot see in the dicotyledonous plants, we can see only in the monocotyledonous. இதல தான் நம்ம பார்க்க முடியும், அதுல இருக்காது. Next we will see the petiole. So, what is the another name of the petiole? That is a stripe or mesopodium. Okay. So, mesopodium, that is the middle part of the leaf, that is the mesopodium. Actually, this is act as your, that is a connector between the lamina and the stem. Okay. This is a connector between the lamina and the stem region. Okay. So, petioles are the stalk, if it has a stalk or petiole, that is considered as a petiolate. Okay. Petiole irunda, that is considered as a petiolate. If it is absent, that is considered as a sessile in conditions. So, what is the structure of the petiole? The petiole is somewhat cylindrical or somewhat flattened in structure. It is also vary from each and every leaf. So, what is the petiolate? A leaf with a petiole is considered as a petiolate. Okay. In some of the leaf, they do not have the petiole, they are directly attached to the branches. Okay. That is called sessile in conditions. So, petiolate means if the leaf with the petiole is a petiolate, if do not have the leaf that is a petiole, that is considered as a sessile. So, can you see the petiolate, that is a ficus, hibiscus, or that is a petiolate. So, next one is a sessile, already I said. So they don't have the petiole. Actually the leaf without petiole is called, that is a sessile. Okay. Then how it is attached to the stem? So directly attached to the stem. The lamina portion is directly attached to the stem. You can see in the Calotropis. In the Calotropis, see the Calotropis leaves, how they attached to the stem. Without the petiole they attached. That is considered as a sessile. Okay. So some of the leaves are called by sessile, or otherwise that is a petiolate. Okay. What is a sessile and petiolate? If you learn the terms very well here, you can easily applicable in the, that is a taxonomy. Taxonomy is the classifications of the plants. So next we will see the lamina. So lamina is a third portions of the leaf, that is considered as a leaf blade. Lamina is otherwise called, that is a leaf blade. Actually this region is a expanded region. So here it is a very thin and flattened green in color. So all the essential physiological function takes place here. So what are the physiological functions? One is the photosynthesis, respirations and transpiration. Everything takes place in the lamina, because the lamina is a broad, thin and flattened. Okay. So what is the metabolic reactions? Metabolic reaction is nothing, that is anabolism and catabolism. What is the anabolism? They can prepare the food material. So with the help of some inorganic raw material, that is considered as a anabolism in process. Okay. Such a food materials are breakdown, okay, to yielding the energy. So that is a ATP. We will get it the ATP energy. Yeah. So that ATP, productions of ATP is considered as a, so that is a catabolism. So that is known as a metabolic reactions. So most of the physiological process takes place in the lamina portion. So what about the structure of the lamina, shape of the lamina? The shape of the lamina is varied from each and every leaf. As you can see, the lot of shape is here, that is a linear, okay, so oblong, elliptical, ovate, chordate. So these are all the different shape of the lamina. So the lamina shows variation in its shape. So not only in shape, even the margins also different, even the surface, textures, adanudaiya nature, okay, color, venations. Incision is nothing, that is entire leaf. This is considered as a entire leaf. In some of the leaf we can see the some incisions. Incision abbi ulla poi varum, that is a incision is there. So that is a different shape of the leaves in the plants. So what is the stipules? The stipules are present in either side of the nodal region. So this is the nodal region. So either side of the nodal region we can see the extra outgrowth. That extra outgrowth is considered as a stipules. If the leaf has a stipule, that is considered as a stipulate. If there is no stipule, that is called exstipulate. That is called exstipulate. So stipules, that is a extra outgrowth that is only present in the dicot plants. Okay. That is a stipulate. If it is absent, that is considered as a estipulate, okay, or exstipulate. So then in the dicotyledonous, the plants, the leaf base bears one or two lateral appendages. Here we can see the two lateral appendages. So sometimes even one is also present. Okay, one irukkalam illana sila nerangla rendu appendages vandu adula irukum. Next, what is the ligule? Okay, the ligule is present between the, that is the node and the lamina. So this region is called the, sorry, this is the petiole. So this region is your petiole region. So this is your lamina part. Okay, this is your petiole and the lamina part that is present between that is a leaf base and a lamina. So this is your petiole, mean this is your leaf base. This is leaf base. Okay, so that is present between the leaf base la irundhu inga aarambikudhu. Okay, so this is a lamina and this region is called ligule. So the ligule is present between the leaf base and the lamina. So இந்த ரெண்டுக்கு இடையில இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த extra outgrowth மாதிரி இருக்குல, this is considered as a, so this is called ligule. Okay, ligule, that is some broad and extra outgrowth. Okay, அதான் ligule சொல்றோம். In some grasses, that is present in the grasses, the additional outgrowth அப்படினு சொல்லுவோம், that is present in the grasses between the leaf base and the lamina. இந்த portions lamina னு சொல்றோம். So இந்த portion வந்து leaf base. இப்போ இதல leaf base வந்து கொஞ்சம் difficult-ஆ இருக்கும், இந்த இடத்துல இருந்து ஆரம்பிக்குது actual leaf base. Okay, sheathy leaf base, that is your sheathy leaf base na enadhu, that is your Actually the petiole is the flat and sheath like structure, okay, that is a sheathy leaf basis. So where which is present, that is present in the monocots. So sometimes a small stipules also there, okay. The stipules, where is the stipule? So which one is considered as a stipulate, okay. If the stipules are present in the leaf, the either side of the node, that is known as a stipulate. If it is absent, that is a exstipulate. So here there is a stipule, that is a stipule. Like outgrowth are found at the base of the leaflets. This is also present in the base of the leaflets, but which is not present in the single leaf, that is present in the compound leaf. If ஒரு single leafல வந்து அந்த மாதிரி இருந்துச்சுன்னா அது வந்து stipulate அப்படினு நம்ம சொல்றோம் இல்லையா. So இது வந்து என்னது அப்படினா, so compound leafல இருக்குது stipule அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So they are called as a stiples. Okay, so what is the function of the stiples? That's to protect the leaf in the bud conditions. Even both of them is protect the bud in protect the young organs in the bud conditions. Okay, அது எங்க இருக்கும்போது அது வந்து protect பண்ணுது. So இதான் வந்து stipule. அப்ப stipule எங்க இருக்கும், stipulate எங்க இருக்கும்னு பார்த்தனா, especially the stipulate are present in the dicot plantsல வந்து இருந்தது either side of the node, but stipules are present in the, that is some of the compound leaf. அது வந்து single leaf, இது வந்து compound leaf. Compound leaf ஓட baseல இருக்கு, அது single leaf ஓட baseல இருக்கு. So what is the venations? So venations is here the arrangement of veins on the lamina. So lamina மேல veins என்ன மாதிரி arranged ஆயிருக்கோ அதுக்கு பேரு venations அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So actually it has a main midrib. From the midrib the lateral veins are arise. From the lateral veins வந்து secondary veins, tertiary veins, that is arised. Okay, it's look like a net like structures, that is called venations. So what is the vein? The vein consists of the vascular tissues, which is xylem and phloem is present. So the venations are divided into two types. One is a reticulate venations, another one is a parallel venations. So what is a reticulate venations? See the leaves, it has here a main midrib, and from the midrib the lateral veins are started. So from the lateral veins tertiary veins and that remaining, so all the veinlets are arranged from the, so each and every branches, okay. So everything is interconnected to form a net like structures. அதனால தான் இதுக்கு என்ன பேர், reticulate venations அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So what is the conditions? Main prominent midrib இருக்கும், அதில இருந்து lateral veins, lateral veins இருந்து secondary veins, tertiary veins are formed, okay. So that is a anastomos like, it is a net like structures, that is a look like a net மாதிரி இருக்கிறதுனால தான் reticulate venations அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So actually venations are divided into one, that is here reticulate venations, another one is here so pinnately, that's a parallel venations, okay. So reticulate venations are again divided into, so that is another types. So what is the difference between the reticulate and the parallel venations? Parallel venations, example for that is a Musa paradisiaca. So you know that the arrangement of the veins in the banana leaf, okay. Here the midrib is there, from the midrib, so the lateral veins are arise, the veins are parallel to each other, அப்படி ஒரே மாதிரியே parallel போயிட்டே இருக்கும். But what about in the reticulate venations? Here the veins are net like formations, okay. That is the main difference between that. So reticulate venation is the characteristics of, that is a dicotyledonous plants. So this is the characteristics of monocotyledonous. So what are the types in the reticulate venations? In the reticulate venations, the first one is a pinnately reticulate venations, another one is a palmately reticulate venations, okay. Pinnate is a feather like condition. So actually the tip of the leaf is a feather. So what about in that, that is a palmately? Palmately is here, it's a divergent, okay. So example for our fingers, how the fingers are arranged, it's originated on the palm, okay. It's look like, that is a palmately in condition. So pinnately reticulate venations, in this type of venations there are only one midrib. இதில பாத்தீங்கன்னா only one midrib is there, okay. So here the lateral veins, the veins are arise from the midrib. So many branches, we can see the many branches, and the tip of the leaf is look like a feather, okay. So that is a pinnately reticulate venations. This is under the category. So reticulate venations are divided into two. So one is a pinnately reticulate venations and another one is here palmately reticulate venations. So what are the example for that? So Mangifera indica, okay. So how many midribs are there? Only one midrib is present here, which forms many lateral branches to form the network. So the tip of the leaf is here feather like structure. Pinnae means feather. Next one is a palmately reticulate venation. That is a multicostate. That is unicostate. This is a multicostate in conditions. So palmately means actually it consists of so many veins are arised. Okay, so many veins. So it is divided into two. One is a divergent, another one is a convergent. You can see here the, so from the basal region, from the base, okay, so from the, so that is a tip of the petiole. Actually the tip of the petiole has a so many main branches of the midribs are started, that's originated. Okay, anga ore oru midrib paatha, anga vandu nariya midrib vandu paakrom. Okay, so each and every midribs are, that is your, they have to making a palm like structures. Okay, so the base la vandu eppadi irukku appadina ella vandu united ah irukku. So when they have to originated, that is look like a diverge from one another. Diverge na onnoda onnu velagi, so indha mari sunrise mari vandu form aadu. Okay va, so diverge from one another towards the margin of the leaf. So this is an example for the divergent is, that is a papaya leaf. So divergent example, that is a corica papaya. So that is a known leaf, isn't it? So another one is a convergent. So convergent means, so all the branches of the midrib is arised from the base of the leaf. Okay, so that's the base of the lamina, and everything is converged in the, that is your tip region. Tip region la ellame poi ore edathila kuvinjirum. So adukku dhaan enna perna convergent. The veins converge to the apex of the leaf, tip of the leaf. Okay, so that is a bay leaf example, cinnamonum. Another one is a Indian plum, that is a Sisyphus is example for that. Okay, so what are the main difference? That is a divergent and convergent. Okay, so the divergent and convergent, so all the veins are arised from the base of the lamina, but they have to radiating in that. So in the convergent, the divergent, that is a radiating, but what about in the convergent? That is a converge in the apex of the leaf. Next we will see the parallel venations. Already I said all the veins are parallel to each other. The veins are originated from the midrib. All the veins are parallel to one another. That is the characteristics of monocotyledons. So the parallel venations are also divided into two. One is the pinnately parallel venations. Another one is here palmately parallel venations. Again the palmately parallel venations are divided into two. So one is the divergent, another one is a convergent. Okay, so pinnately parallel venation is otherwise called unicostate. Okay, so here the, when there is a prominent, here also the prominent midrib is present in the center, from which arise many veins, that is a perpendicular to other. That is a perpendicular means, so actually here the veins are there. Okay, this is your midrib. So the veins are perpendicular to each other. Okay, perpendicular to the midrib. Midrib la irundhu indha mari pogudu. Okay, that is a parallel to each other, perpendicularly and run parallel to each other. Okay, so example for that, that's a canna, curcuma, curcuma longa as a turmeric. Okay, Musa paradisiaca and ginger. Okay, so all the leaves, they are all parallel to each other. That is a pinnately parallel. Pinnately means the tip of the leaves is tip of the leaf is your pinnae. That's a feather like structure. Next one is a palmately parallel venation, that is otherwise called multicostate. Okay, so in this type the several veins are arised. Okay, so all the veins, the bunch of veins are arised from the, that is the base of the petiole. Actually the tip of the petiole, not base of the lamina and tip of the petiole. They are run parallel to each other, but they have to unite at the apex. Okay va, so apex region la vandu united ah irundha adu pinnately, that is vandu enna solrom appadina convergent appdinu solluvom. Actually this is vandu divergent. Okay, convergent appadina ella kurigi poirukku. Example for in the grass. Okay, that is another one is here divergent அப்படிங்கிறது இந்த மாதிரி விரிஞ்சு போய் இருக்கிறது. Convergent அப்படின்னா everything is here converge in the apex region. Okay, so this is a divergent type. Divergent type means that is here all principal veins. Principal na main veins. So all the main veins are so originated from the, that is a base of the lamina or tip of the petiole. Okay, but they have to radiating in the apex region. Apex region la எப்படி இருக்குன்னா radiating ஆயிடுது. But all the veins are parallel to each other. Okay, veins are parallel to each other and radiating in the apex region. Okay, so diverge towards the margin, and the margin of the leaf is considered as a divergent type. That is a fan. Fan இப்படி விரிச்சு வச்ச மாதிரி இப்படி இருக்குல்லையா. So next one is a convergent type. Okay, so all the principal veins run parallel to each other from the base, but base of the lamina, but everything is joined together in the apex region. So example for bamboos, rice and water hyacinth. So once again recall what are the types of venations. Actually venations are divided into two. So one is that is your reticulate venations, another one is your parallel venations. So reticulate venation is again divided into two, that is your pinnately reticulate venations, another one is your palmately reticulate venations. The palmately reticulate venations are divided into two, one is your divergent, another one is your convergent. Similarly in the parallel venation. So next we will see the phyllotaxy. So what is the phyllotaxy? The mode of arrangement of the leaves on the stem. Okay. So stem la eppadi vandu leaves arranged aayirukko adukku per dhaan phyllotaxy appdin solrom. That's a mode of arrangement of the leaves on the stem is considered as a phyllotaxy. Okay. So what is the uses of phyllotaxy? If all the leaves are arranged on the same node, they cannot receive the sunlight, they cannot prepare the food material. So which is used to avoid the crowding of the leaves, the arrangement of the leaves. If it is arranged is very crowdly, they cannot do the functions. Okay. So expose the leaves maximum to the sunlight for photosynthesis, because that is arranged in the proper way. Okay. So based on that they have to all the leaves they can receive the sunlight. Okay. Then only they have to do the physiological process. So what is a phyllotaxy? The mode of arrangement of the leaves on the stem is considered as a phyllotaxy, which is useful for avoid the overcrowding of the leaves, and they can get the maximum sunlight. So what are the types of the phyllotaxy? Actually which is divided into four. One is an alternate type, another one is an opposite, next a ternate, another one is a old. So what is an alternate phyllotaxy? So each and every node give you a single leaf. Okay. A leaf is arranged on the node, that is a single leaf, that is alternative in conditions. A node consists of single leaf. If it has a two leaf, that is considered as that is opposite. Okay, that is opposite phyllotaxy, but it has a single leaf is there. So only one leaf per node and the leaves on the successive node. Successive nodes means successively they have to form a, so that is leaves. Okay, they have to give the leaves, that is a alternate phyllotaxy. So the alternate phyllotaxy is again divided into two. Okay, so spirally, sometimes that is tightly arranged, it's look like a spirally arrangement. It's not a spirally arranged, actually there is a alternate in condition, but it's look like a spiral arrangement of the leaves in the vertical rows, that is a orthostitches. Okay, there are two types, one is a alternate spiral, another one is a alternate distitches, that is otherwise called bifarious. So alternate spiral means just look at the hibiscus leaf, இது இப்படி வரும்போது alternative வரும்போது எப்படி இருக்குன்னா it's look like a spiral in conditions. When you have to see the punch of the leaves, it's look like a spiral manner. Okay, example hibiscus and ficus. So alternative means each node gives only one leaf. Okay, so all the when we have to see bunch of leaves or branches of the leaves, it's together, that is look like a spiral manner. Next, alternate distitches or bifarious. Okay, so here that is example, best example is here Polyalthia longifolia. So here in which the leaves are organized alternatively, but then the two rows. Okay, so alternatively the either side, that is எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படினா அப்படி ஓபன் பண்ணி பார்க்குற மாதிரி இருக்கும், either side of the stem. Okay, it is not like a turned, it's the one that is opening flattened like structure either side of the stem, that is alternate distitches. Distitches na அப்படி ஓபனா இருக்கிற மாதிரி இப்படி விரிச்சு வச்சு பார்க்கலாம். Okay, that is here Polyalthia longifolia is example for that. So opposite phyllotaxy, a node consists of two leaves. Okay, in this type each node possesses here two leaves, that is opposite to each other. The both leaves are face to opposite to each other, face towards. So that is two types, one is a opposite superposed, another one is a opposite decussate. So opposite superposed means here example for guava. Okay, here that each node consists of two leaves, so that is face towards each other. Okay, that is a single rows. We can see the single rows. Okay, ஒரே மாதிரி வந்து arranged ஆயிருக்கும். That is opposite superposed அப்படினு சொல்றோம். Okay, two opposite leaves at node lie exactly above the other. கீழ உள்ள leaf எப்படி இருக்கோ அதே மாதிரி மேல உள்ள leaf arranged ஆயிருக்கும், even that either side. So that is up and downward the leaves are arranged in the same manner. Okay, that is considered as a, that is called by opposite superposed. Example, that is a guava. Opposite decussate means here that leaves are arranged in the opposite, each node gives a two leaves, but that's a right angle to the next upper and lower leaves. Okay, so if the first leaves are arranged like that means another leaves should be arranged this manner. Okay, that's a right angle to the upper layer and upper leaves and lower leaves. Okay, that is considered as a that is opposite decussate. So opposite, that is the first one we saw, that is a opposite superposed. Superposed means they have to give the same manner. Okay, everything is arranged in the same manner. Okay, but here is not like that. So one row is right angle to the another row. One row வந்து இன்னொரு இதுக்கு வந்து right angle இருக்குது. Okay, so next one, ternate phyllotaxy. Ternate means that is a 3. Each node bears 3 leaves. Okay, that is a ternate phyllotaxy. So each and every node consists of a 3 leaves. That is in the nerium. Neriyathula indha nama paakalam. So another one is a whorled verticillate type of phyllotaxy. Here more than 3 leaves will be formed. There's a whorled na appdi sutti irukra mari irukum full ah, a node surrounding node full ave வந்து எப்படி இருக்குனா leaves arranged ஆயிருக்கும். That is a more than 3 leaves are present in the whole at each node forming a circle இருக்கலாம் இல்லனா hole மாதிரி அப்படி ஃபார்ம் ஆயிருக்கும். That is a alamanda. We can see in the alamanda leaves. So based on the number of leaves in the node, that is classified into 4 types. The first one is that is alternate, another one is opposite, next ternate, another one is whorled. Okay, so each node consists of a single leaf, that is alternate in conditions, 2 leaf means that is opposite in conditions, 3 leaf, that's a ternate. Okay, if it has more than 3 leaves, that is a whorled phyllotaxy. Okay, it is easy to understand. So leaf mosaic. Okay, next we will see the leaf mosaic. So actually that tend to how the leaves are fitted into the branches. Okay, so in this type of the leaf we can see the some of the leaves petioles are very long and some of the leaves petioles are very short. Okay, so they have to arrange based on receiving the sunlight. So here the leaf mosaic type of leaf, they adjust themselves. Okay, they can adjust themselves to receive the sunlight. Okay, they are crowded but they have to adjust themselves. Okay, so எல்லா leavesக்கு வந்து sunlight கிடைக்கிற மாதிரி அது வந்து arrangement ஆயிருக்கும். எப்படினா, so that's a lower leaves has a long petioles, the upper leaves they have a short petioles. So by this arrangement they can receive the sunlight. So every leaves are receive the sunlight, they can do the process. Okay, so shorter leaves, where is the shorter petioles, where is the longer petiole? Longer petioles are present in the lower leaves, shorter petioles are present in the, that is the upper leaves. Okay, so by this arrangement they can get the light very easily. So that arrangement is called leaf mosaic. Okay, so they have to adjust by themselves, தானாவே adjust பண்ணி தனக்கு தேவையான லைட்டை வந்து ரிசீவ் பண்ணிக்கிறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். Next, leaf type. Okay, actually lamina. Okay, so what are the shapes of the lamina already we studied. What about that's a leaf type? Leaf type, that is the entire leaf or it may be a discrete or compound leaves. Okay, so entire leaf means leaf fulla mulusa andha the entire அப்படினு சொல்றோம். If the leaves are divided into discrete or components or segments, you can see here we can see the so many segments are there. Okay, here we can see the so many segments. So that is called incised. Actually that is considered as a incised. Okay, so that is a incised or discrete or segments. So each and every margin குள்ள பாத்தீங்க அப்படினா ஒரு segments இருக்கும், இல்லனா வந்து அப்படி உள்ள போய் வருது இல்லையா, அது வந்து that is a discrete அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So that is a leaf type. Actually leaf types are differ from each other. Even the shape also differ from each other. Even the margin also differ from each other. So next we will see the simple leaf. Okay, a node gives rise to a single leaf is considered as a simple leaf. ஒரு node ல இருந்து ஒரு leaf வந்து அதுக்கு பேரு simple leaf. Okay, it consists of a single lamina is present. The lamina is entire. Okay, that is not divided. That is the example in the mango. Mango leaves are example for that. So if the lamina may be incised means it is a divided or a discrete or segments are there. So that is called incised. அதுக்கு தான் என்ன பேர் சொல்றாங்கன்னா incised because the margin will be enter into the depth. Okay, அது வந்து எங்க உள்ள வரைக்கும் depth வரைக்கும் போயிட்டு வரும், but not up to the midrib. Midrib வரைக்கும் போகாது. இப்போ இங்க இருக்குது அப்படினா so this is here incised. Okay, so that is not enter into the midrib. Midrib வரைக்கும் அது enter ஆகாம so இதோட முடிஞ்சுக்கும். இப்போ இங்க வரைக்கும் இப்படி உள்ள வரைக்கும் அது போகாது. ஓகேவா? so that is a incised leaf அப்படினு சொல்றோம். எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து cucurbita. so cucurbita is example for that. விஜய் மாறிடுச்சு ஏதோ கம்ப்யூட்டர்ல இல்லையே நான் எதில் போட்டேன் thank you. Okay, listen. So that is a lamina baby incised means they have to just bend inside the lamina. Okay, not enter into the midrib. Midrib வரைக்கும் போகாம கொஞ்சம் அப்படி வளைஞ்சு வரதுக்கு பேர் தான் incised அப்படினு சொல்றோம். Next one is a compound leaf. Compound leaf அப்படிங்கிறது a number of leaflets are arranged on the main rachis. Okay, so the main rachis consists of a small leaflets, that is a compound leaf. Okay, so what is the main rachis? This is considered as a main rachis. So this is your main rachis. This is main rachis. Okay, from the main rachis a small leaflets are arise. So that is known as a compound leaf. Okay, so the compound leaves have evolved to increase the total lamina surface. அப்போ lamina number of lamina வந்து என்ன ஆகும்னா increase ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும். If it has a more leaf na, so number of lamina will be also increased. Okay, that is called a compound leaf. So that is what is the characters of the compound leaf. In the compound leaf we can see only one axillary bud. We can see only one axillary bud in this region. But what about in the simple leaf? In each and every simple leaf consists of your axillary bud. Okay, this is your axillary bud. We can see only one axillary bud in the base of the main rachis. Main rachis அடியில ஒரே ஒரு axillary bud தான் நம்ம compound leafல வந்து பார்க்க முடியும். பட் single leafல வந்து ஒவ்வொரு single leafோட axillary regionல we can see the axillary bud. Okay, so the leaflets however do not possess a axillary bud. Leaflets அப்படிங்கிறது இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒவ்வொரு leaflet இது ஒரு leaflet. Okay, so this is one of the leaflets. So here we cannot see any bud, any axillary bud. Okay, so only base of the rachis produce the axillary bud. So அது இல்லாம ஒவ்வொரு leafletல axillary bud வந்து நம்ம பார்க்க முடியாது. That is the main characters of compound leaf. So this is also divided similar to that, that is a pinnately compound leaf. Okay, what is the pinnae? So pinnae means the apex region should be a feather like structure. Okay, a pinnately compound leaf is defined as, so one of the rachis actually it has a ஒரே ஒரு ரேச்சிஸ் வந்து அதில் இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ பியர்ஸ் லேட்ரலி a number of leaflets. ஒரு ரேச்சிஸ்லேருந்து குட்டி குட்டி லீஃப்லெட்ஸ்லாம் வருது இல்லையா, தட் பியர்ஸ் a number of leaflets that is arranged in the alternative manner. நீங்கள் இதில் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா leaflets are arranged in the alternative. இருக்கக்கூடிய leaflets, இங்கே ஒரு leaflet இருக்கும். So this is a main rachis. Okay, from the main rachis we can see the lateral rachis. So இதில் வந்து என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, so we can see the leaflets. Okay, இதில் வந்து leaflets இந்த மாதிரி arranged ஆயிருக்கும். So this is, but what about in the main rachis? The main rachis ல இருந்து வரக்கூடிய lateral rachis ல the leaflets are arranged in the alternative manner. இப்போ இங்க இருந்து ஒரு leaf arranged ஆயிருக்குன்னா இங்க ஒரு leaf வந்தது அப்படி இங்க ஒரு rachis வந்ததுன்னா this is a opposite. But what about here? This is a alternative. Okay, the rachis are alternative. Rachis are alternative. Okay, so here the leaves are opposite. Leaves வந்து opposite தான் இருக்கும். Rachis வர்றது வந்து எப்படி இருக்கு அப்படின்னா that is a alternative in condition இருக்கு. Okay children, I think today it's enough. Tomorrow we will see the remaining part. So thank you so much for your cooperation. If you have any doubt, just you have to call me or put it in that WhatsApp. Okay, thank you so much.